Hey guys, how's it going? It's Phil from Phil's Computer Lab. Sodako from Belgium has sent me a review unit of the DreamBlaster X2. In this video, we will look at this device and there's a lot to talk about. This is not a standard Wavetable module that you just plug into your sound card and off you go. There's a lot more to it. You can configure the presets, the way it sounds. You can configure stereo swap, the volume output. It has a USB interface for uploading sound banks. There's a line out. It also acts as a USB MIDI module, so there's really a lot to this device. At the end of the video is a conclusion, pricing, availability, and also some sound recording so you can get a good idea of what it sounds like. So without further ado, enjoy this video. So this is how the DreamBlaster X2 arrived in the mail. So let's have a closer look. DreamBlaster X2 first edition board number 50 with a line out connector, tested on December the 21st of 2016. And we've got the Certashop website. It's created by Sodako from Belgium. Hang on a minute, board number 50. That means 49 people got the unit before me. Oh. Well, but I've got the green prototype. Okay, let's have a closer look at the unit. The first thing you can notice, it's all in black, so there's a change in color with the PCB. Looks very classy and should be a nice addition to any sound card. We can also see there's a USB connector here, and we've got a 3.5mm audio port there. The 3.5mm port is a line out, and it's driven by 24-bit DAC. It also has a USB connector, and there are quite a few things you can do with that. Firstly, you can use the X2 as a USB MIDI device. So you connect it to a computer and it shows up as any regular MIDI module, and you can use that in Media Player or in DOSBox or ScumVM, and I will show you later in the video how that works. The other thing you can do with the USB interface is change certain aspects of the DreamBlaster X2. If, for example, the output volume, you can change the equalizer. There's a stereo swap function, but you can also play around with chorus and reverb and basically tune in your favorite sound signature. You can also upload sound banks, and I will show that in more detail later in the video. So if we compare this with the DreamBlaster X1, the X1 had jumpers that would let you configure certain aspects, and instead of jumpers, everything is configured in software through the USB interface with the DreamBlaster X2. So that's quite a bit more user-friendly, and there are a lot more options available as well. The DreamBlaster X2 is smaller compared to the X1. Do note that the X1 has been discontinued, so you can't purchase it anymore. Here we got the X2 on a Sound Blaster 16. Thanks to its smaller size, it fits perfectly on shorter cards, for example like the ESS audio drive. And this is the Audition 32 Plus. The X1 DreamBlaster was a little bit too long for this card, but the X2 fits perfectly. So now I'm gonna connect the DreamBlaster X2 to my desktop computer through the USB interface, and we're gonna check out this applied software. Okay, here we are on my desktop. I've got the DreamBlaster X2 connected through the USB interface. Now, on the main webpage for the DreamBlaster X2, down below here is a downloads link, and you can download the user manual, a pack with all the software for uploading sound fonts and configuring the presets, and there's also a sound bank pack. So I recommend you download all of them, and I've done that, and I've put them into a folder on my desktop. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to use the X2 as a MIDI device. It's connected through the USB interface, and I'm using the MIDI player software, and you go into the device settings and you just make sure that the MIDI out is now using the DreamBlaster X2, and that's it. You press OK and you just pick your favorite MIDI file and listen to some awesome funky retro MIDI tunes. So the first program I want to show you is the X2 Uploader. This is what it looks like. Let me just minimize this. What you can do with this program are two things. You can upload preset files. Now, the website has a couple of preset files ready to go. However, it also comes with a preset editor. We will have a look at that later. That lets you create your own presets. The other thing you can upload are sound banks. I'll show you how to upload the preset files first. So what you need to do first is here under Out, you need to change this to the DreamBlaster X2, and then you click on this button here to select a file. Here we can see all these supplied presets. For example, if you want to reset it to factory default, let's select this file, and then all you need to do is press Update, and then Reboot. And now the default preset is loaded onto our X2. Let's quickly listen to some music and then I'll load a different preset and you can hear the difference. Let's say we want to change how this game sounds. Let's say that the default has too many effects, too much chorus, too much reverb. Let's pick this one here, no effect. So we just load that file, press the update button, and then reboot. So that sounded quite different. No reverb, no chorus, very dry and flat. But the good news is that you can define how the X2 sounds. So now that we know how to upload presets, I will show you the preset editor. So this is the DreamBlaster X2 preset editor. There's lots of stuff going on here, so we're gonna break it down. The first two settings are very cool. This allows you to change the volume, the output volume of the X2, because certain sound cards, for example the Roland MPU 401, doesn't have a mixer. So on certain Wavetable boards you get clipping because the volume is too loud. And on the Roland MPU 401 there's nothing you can do. If the Wavetable board is too loud, you just got clipping and there was nothing you can do. But with the X2 you can adjust the output level of the module. One important thing to understand with the preset editor is that you need to tick the setting first, then change the value, and only then will it work. If this is not ticked, these values will be ignored. The other setting that is really cool is the swap stereo. On certain sound cards, for example most ESS audio drives and also the Audition 32 Plus, the left and the right channel are actually swapped. So what this lets you do is reverse the stereo, the left and the right, and correct that little mistake. All the other options have to do with how the X2 sounds. Any changes you make, you can save as a preset, but you can also load one of the existing presets and make the changes from there. We can see two columns here. On the left side we've got the X2 global settings. These are not affected by GS reset, whereas the settings on the right column, they are actually resettable. So what does that mean? If you're on a DOS machine and you start a game like Doom, it sends a reset signal to the MIDI device. In short, that means any settings that you change here will get reset to default and they won't stick. So for DOS games, if you want to control the amount of reverb and chorus, you should be using these two settings, the reverb mix and the chorus mix. In these two boxes, you can customize how much reverb and how much chorus gets applied. A value of 0 means no effect at all. A value of 63, 64 is around 50%, and the value of 127 is the maximum effect being applied. You can also configure a equalizer. That means you can adjust the bass and the treble. Not only can you change the amount, how much treble and how much bass you're getting, but you can also change the frequency. And these settings here on the right side, I would say they are more advanced settings, and because they are resettable, they might not be of that much interest for DOS gamers. But if you listen to MIDI files and if you use a MIDI player like this one, you can actually configure this MIDI player not to send a reset, and then you can tweak these settings to your liking. So now I'm just going to show you how to upload sound banks. So we're going to change this back to the DreamBlaster X2, and then we select our sound bank files. There are 3 sound banks available at the moment. 2 for general MIDI. This one here is a little bit smaller and sounds slightly different. This one is the default general MIDI sound bank that the X2 came shipped. And then we've got one for the NES. This one is quite unique. However, it only works with special MIDI files that are meant to be played back with that sound font. So we're gonna check out this one here first. So basically you just double click on the sound bank. All this gets configured automatically. Just hit the update button and then reboot. So that sounded quite unique, and if you want to upload the default sound bank again, you click on this button again, navigate to the folder that has the default general MIDI sound bank, and just upload it again. This one will take quite a bit longer because the file is fairly large. There's also an excellent user manual that comes with the X2, so if you're stuck, have a look in the manual first. It might answer your question. And that was an overview of the software and how to use it. If you want to buy the DreamBlaster X2, you're looking at 75 euros and 5 euros for shipping. However, that shipping is without any tracking. So if you want proper airmail and tracking, you're looking at another 10 euros. We're almost done, and at the end of the video are some sound recordings so you can get an idea what the DreamBlaster X2 sounds like. Let's wrap it up. This is one great sounding wavetable board. It has features that really no other board out there has. The software is really easy to use. There are ready to go presets that give you a few things to try out. And for those who want to tweak a little bit more, there's a preset editor that lets you configure important aspects like the stereo swap or the output levels. It also has its own MIDI interface, so not only can you use this as a wavetable board, you can also use it as a USB MIDI module. And finally, you can buy this for a price that is less than most second-hand wavetable boards sell these days on eBay. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As I said before, now we have some X2 sound recordings to listen to. Thank you for watching and have a great day.